I got absolutely railroaded today, dude. Cherry bombed, whatever you want to call it. I got caught in a lie 3 seconds after telling a lie. You know, you ever get caught in a lie 3 seconds after telling a lie? It's not comfortable. Both parties, it's not comfortable because you know you're lying, and then the other party finds out you're lying, and they're like, "Oh, what? Why would you do that?" And I wouldn't call myself a liar, but I'd call myself an idiot who doesn't know what to say sometimes, so he just makes something up on the spot to kind of diffuse his awkward, social anxiety prone responses, So I'm chilling at home alone today, and these two little boys come running up. And by little boys, I mean they were like 23, probably right out of college, probably their first job. They were rocking long sleeve Verizon polos, which were actually kind of swagged out. I was like, whoa, maybe I'll start working for Verizon. You know what I mean? Like if they would hire me, which they probably wouldn't. But that's besides the point. I don't know anything about landlines and Wi-Fi and stuff, and phones, television. I don't know any of that stuff. But boy, can I rock a long sleeve polo. That counts for something. That's half the job right there. These kids, they were knocking door to door trying to sling Verizon. And I was like, dude, wearing a polo is half that job, you know? So I could do that at least. I could rock a polo like the best of them. Even in my bigger frame, that's going to be slender in a month, I'm telling you right now. But yeah, these two kids, they come up, and I see them walking up, and I'm like, what? One has an iPad. I'm like, what? Do I get the gun? Do I get the gat? Do I stay strapped? What do I do here? Do I fucking beat him off my property? Do I kill one of them because it's in my right to do that? Is that a thing? What was the thing? Or is that only in Florida? Stand your ground law? I don't know. But anyway, I didn't do that. I decided to hear them out. They start slinging Verizon talk at me. They're trying to sell me Verizon. Meanwhile, my family already has Verizon in the house, We already have it. We've got it for phones. We've got it for Wi-Fi, internet, cable, all that bullshit. And this guy starts slinging me on, like, he uses some big jargon. I don't do words good, so he starts using big words on me. And he goes, "So, would you like to buy Verizon?" And I didn't even. I could have easily just been like, "Hey, we have Verizon, so we're all set. Thank you, though. I appreciate it." I could have said that, but I said, "I don't live here. My mom, she makes all those decisions." And then the guy goes, "Oh, okay." And then he takes a beat, and as he's taking a beat, I jump in. I'm like, "But anyway, we actually have Verizon," as if I like wanted to befriend this guy because we do, and I don't know why I didn't just open with that. I was like, "Oh, my mom actually has Verizon here," you know. And then his next question after that, son of a bitch, man, good salesman, I'll tell you that right now. His next question was, "Okay, where do you live? What do you have at your house, at your home?" 3 seconds after I told him I didn't live there, he hits me with, "What do you have in your home?" Son of a bitch, dude. They taught him well. That's a good. If I had another home, that's a good tactic. Because what if I didn't have Verizon? He could fucking sell me Verizon. But instead of being like playing along and being like, "Oh, I actually have Verizon too at my non-existent home," because I literally am standing in the home I live in currently because I live with my parents. I caved, dude. I'm like, "Oh, actually, dude, I'm not gonna lie to you. I already lied to you, but I live here. I live upstairs." And I did this. I pointed up. I was like, "Ah, yeah, fuck you. I live here." Why would you like? God damn, dude. That was really embarrassing. I was very embarrassed. Went from telling him, "Oh, I don't live here," as if I had to impress this 23-year-old Verizon salesman or whatever the fuck he is. I had to trick one person on the face of this earth into thinking that I don't live at home with my parents. It was my one opportunity to do it, and I blew it because he had to ask too many questions. This son of a bitch asked too many questions. When I tell you my parents are already set with Verizon, that's when you exit. That's when you leave. You say, "Oh, thank you so much. Thank you for being a part of the team. Thank you for being part of the tribe." That's what you say. You thank me. You don't go asking me what's in my non-existent home. What's it to you? I should have just been like, "You know what? I don't do Wi-Fi in my home. My kids, my 3 kids that don't exist, that are currently in my home, that also doesn't exist with my smoking hot wife, who will never exist. We don't do Wi-Fi. We don't do computers. We don't do tech. We're a book family. We do books. See these books? My kids are gonna read these books. What are my kids' names?" He asks. Uh, you know, they're good names. Bible names. Abraham, Jesus, and Carlton. What are you going to do about it? Nothing. Oh, well, if you ever need Verizon in the future, would you ever be available to sign something for me? And I'd say, no, my kids read. How many times I got to tell you, motherfucker, my kids read at my home. At my non-existent home, my kids read. Getting me all upset. But yeah, that was really embarrassing. I hate getting caught in lies, which I try not to lie often, but when you get caught in a lie, it's like you have two options. You could either just be pathological and just keep going with it, or you could be like, shut up. I'm sorry. I don't know what I was thinking. Because it was an innocent lie. It was a white lie. It wasn't like one of those like big lies, you know? It was just a heat of the moment. I got awkward. I didn't know what to say. I just told him I didn't live here because I didn't want to let him down. I didn't want to like break his little Verizon heart, you know? So I told him I didn't live there. And son of a bitch, man. Son of a bitch. Good salesman. I'll tell you that right now. Kid's going places. He asked the right questions. He found out I was lying. And his response to me outing myself as a liar was, oh. He hit me with a half O and then a full, followed by a full O. Oh. Oh, okay. Thank you for your time. Well, he didn't even say thank you for your time. He just kind of exited. He just kind of floated away with his buddy because there was another guy who was further down the steps. He didn't have the balls to come up to me. You know, he wasn't a true salesman. I assume he was like the guy who was talking to me's assistant or something. But, yeah, dude, I always tell the truth. That's the moral of the story. You know, always be telling the truth, which the truth hurts sometimes because living at home it's whatever, you know. A lot of people ask me, what's it like being home when you're 30? I was like, well, I proved a lot of teachers right. I'll tell you that right now. Because a lot of teachers used to say to me, which was very rude because I had learning disabilities, they were just picking on the dumb kid, you know. But I had a handful of teachers tell me, James, you keep up this behavior, you'll be living at home when you're 30. And I said, fuck you. I ain't living at home when I'm 30, you dumb piece of shit. I'm going to be a billionaire, dog. I'm going to be having paper. So that's how I talked in high school. I kind of grew out of that accent. It was more of like a puberty thing. That's how I sounded pre-pubes. Because I didn't go through puberty till like college. You know, first hair on bowl, freshman year of college. But I was like, I'm getting paper, son. You can't guard me, dog. You can't confine me, dog. All right? I'll be out of my parents' house tomorrow after high school graduation. And, 12 years later, proved a lot of those teachers right because I'm right where they said I would be. So maybe I shouldn't have fooled around as much in high school because I was a bit of a asshole. But, like, I had learning disabilities. It comes with the territory, you know? That was one of my learning disabilities was being an asshole to teachers. I was never, I don't know. I wasn't like remember those nerds? Those nerds that would, like, post high school would go back and visit the high school? You ever see those kids? I'm not like that. You know? People who do that are fucking bizarrely weird. I gotta go say hi to my teachers, show them how well I'm doing in college at the big university. I'm gonna tell my teachers that I'm doing so swell. Hi, Mr. So-and-so. Remember me? Yes, I was in your class last year. How could you forget? Yeah, well, I'm studying stuff at the big university. I just wanted to check in on you. See how you're doing. Because you said some stuff to me that really helped propel me into my collegiate self, you know? You said some really inspiring things to me, and I wanted to come back from the big university and tell you how swell I'm doing. Jesus Christ, those kids suck. Those kids are the worst. And those are the kids that'll go far in life because they're just like suck-up losers. You're sucking up to a teacher at a high school that you don't even go to anymore? I don't get these people. You couldn't get me. You couldn't pay me to visit high school, post-high school. You know? The fuck would I do? Go back to the padded rooms where I signed my name, where I carved my name with my teeth when I was in a straitjacket? Go back to that room? Go back to that hell? You know? It's not my vibe, man. High school was tough for me. I wasn't like, I don't know. I don't know why. Why was high school tough for me? You know, I wasn't was a good athlete, but like I was too mental to thrive in athletics. So I didn't have the mental. I was like a mental little person. I won't say the M word because that's rude. And I'm not a rude guy. I'm not fresh, like some of you people out there. I'm not fresh. I'm not rude. I'm not nasty. I'm a good guy. So I won't use that terminology. But mental little person. So that kind of hindered me. It made me feel bad for not excelling in sports when I should have excelled. And then I wasn't good, educationally. I wasn't good with numbers or words or history or anything like that. I was, I pretty much, I don't even know how I graduated high school, if I'm being completely honest with you. I think they were just like, we can't have this kid back here next year. Let's just pass him along. Let's just ignore the fact that he failed all his regencies. His SAT score was abysmal. Let's ignore that. Which my SAT score, the SAT is the only test I ever got 100 on. It's the only test I ever got a 100 on. Classic bit. Classic joke, But seriously, I did get, like, close to a 100 on that. Everyone's like, James, you get, like, 250 points for signing your name. I'm like, that was the hardest part. I couldn't remember if my last name had 2 N's or 1. Lennon. Was it Lennon? Like, I couldn't remember if it was, like, John Lennon or, like, the fucking Lennon, the Russian guy. Vladimir Lenin. Was that his name? I don't know. Every Russian guy's name's Vlad for some reason. Those Vladimirs. Hello. My name is Lenin. I do not like test. I do not like SAT. Hello. I'd rather drink vodka than do SAT. Stupid. I don't do accents. You guys know that. But yeah, I did so bad on the I went to my advisor or whatever, my guidance counselor, and we picked out a list of schools that I wanted to go to, and it was all like, she played along because she didn't want to break my heart. She didn't want to break my heart yet. I was like, University of Tampa or like somewhere cool, like Towson University or something. I wanted to go to Towson. That would have been a sick school to go to. And she's like, this is great. Let's see how you do in your Regents. Yeah. Let's knock that Regents out of the, or not Regents, let's knock that SAT out of the park, though. Okay, you're going to need a good score to get into these schools, okay? I know you can do it. You got to study for it. You got to study. You'll study. You'll do fine. Took the PSAT, which is the practice SAT, after that. And true story, I fell asleep. Like, I just filled it out. Like, it was on a Saturday. I was probably hungover. Probably a dumbass 17-year-old who went drinking the night before. Filled it out random, like just did random letters. Abcub, or whatever the fucking thing was. Then I fell asleep on my test because it was just in front of me, and they were like, you can't leave, so you have to stay. And I finished it in like record. Say what you want about me. I never passed the test, but boy, could I finish them quick. I could finish a test quicker than anybody. All right? I was like fucking Rain Man when it comes to finishing. If finishing a test in a certain amount of time got you extra points on tests, I never would have failed a test because I finished tests in record time. I'm like the Usain Bolt of finishing tests. It's just boom, done. And so anyway, the test was on the desk and I fell asleep. And I drooled all over like a puddle of drool right on the test. Wet paper, dude. Like a fucking paper straw in a fucking drink. Just wet. Soaking wet. And the teacher's like, you have to, you can't hand this in. It's like everything's smudged. It's soaking wet. And then he gave me a fresh test. And then I did the same. I just filled it out randomly, record time again, and then left it there and then didn't fall asleep on it. And then I got my PSAT scores back, and it got me a meeting with my guidance counselor. And she was like, listen, you got to do way better on this if you want to go to these schools, okay? Enough fucking around, all right? You got to study. You got to hunker down and study because these numbers are honestly elementary. They're pretty bad. Which I like to think, like, the initial test I took, I fucking aced it, but then I fell asleep on it and then filled out a completely different test. So I think I might have been a genius initially, and then I suffered from drooling on test syndrome, so that really fucked me. But then, here comes the SAT. And a lot of people had SAT tutors. Everyone in my family had an SAT tutor except for me. My parents were like, we're not wasting. He's going to fail regardless. You can't even fail the test. It's not a pass-fail thing. It's like more of a whatever. But the kid is gonna do horrible, even if you gave him the answers to the test. If it was an open note test, which I've failed many of those, he'd fuck it up. So we're not even gonna pay for a tutor for this kid. We'll just let him free ball and hope for the best. Because my brother got a tutor, older sister got a tutor, younger brother got a tutor. Me, no tutor. I didn't even get a book. I showed up blind. I didn't even get a practice book. I got nothing. My parents had zero faith in me. So anyway, the test day comes. Go to the real SAT. It's the big leagues now. I want to go to Towson. I want to go to UTampa. I want to get into these schools. I got to do well. I did so bad on my SAT score, my mom had to come in and have a meeting with me and my guidance counselor. And my guidance counselor pretty much was like, these are, in so many words, she was like, this is the lowest score I've ever seen. I didn't even know it was humanly possible to get this low of a score. Like, people go like I'm pretty sure I got like a 600 on it. That's not good. It sounds good because 600 is a big number. When I heard 600, I was like, shit, dude, am I Goodwill Hunting? Who am I? And my guidance counselor was like, no, that's not good. It's out of 2,400 or whatever. You did bad. You're not getting, she had to tell me, then she got real. She's like, listen, your list of schools, you're not getting into any of them with this SAT score combined with your regular shit grades. I didn't want to tell you initially. I thought that maybe, like, by the grace of God, you might do well and you might be able to maneuver your way into maybe getting a good letter from Towson or University of Tampa. I don't know. But these scores are abysmal, and I'm ashamed to be your guidance counselor. She didn't say that, but I could tell she was thinking it by the look of my eye. Because she probably became a guidance counselor to, like, make, like, have an impact on kids and, like, shape the youth and, like, be, like, positive a positive enforcer and all this stuff. And then one of her pupils, one of her peeps, comes back with a 600 on the SATs. Dude, I'm surprised she didn't retire right then and there. You know, but she probably had to wait till someone else got a higher score so she could retire on top, which I totally get and totally respect. But yeah, that was a fun meeting between me and my mom and the guidance counselor. My mom's like the most positive person ever. She's the best hype man of all time. Like, when we used to play sports, I could have the worst game of all time. Like, playing lacrosse, like, if she came to a game up at Oswego or something and I had a bad game, and I, like, wouldn't want her to talk to me because I'd still be mad. And she'd come up to me and be like, James, you were so good. I was like, Mom, I had, like, 7 turnovers. And she'd be like, but those were good turnovers, you know? Those were very good turnovers. So she's that type of, like, person, which I love, but especially as, like, when I was in athletics, I didn't like that shit after, like, a horrible game. I was like, shut up, God damn it. I don't want to hear your positive bullshit right now. I just want to stew in this dog shit feeling of losing a game that doesn't even matter in the grand scheme of life, you know? So like, she was peppering the guidance counselor. She said, he could go to some schools, though, right? Go to some schools, and she's like, Nassau County Community College. Ever hear of it? Pretty much anyone in there. But my mom wanted me to go to Way. She wanted me to get the genuine college experience right off the bat. So I pretty much went to Nassau Community College upstate, which was fucking SUNY Delhi, that hellhole. Met some great people there. Had a lot of fun. But goddamn, was that place a hellhole. It was a strip. It's not even a town. It's pretty much a crater. Okay? It's pretty much just an empty hole of bullshit. They let anyone come to school there. And, I mean, I got a couple stories for you that aren't pleasant. But should I tell them? It's hard to tell because, like, I know my mom listens to this. She's my biggest fan and the only one who actually listens. So I'm pretty much just having a conversation with my mom right now, actually. But I'll say this. I won't go into detail, but maybe I will. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how it comes out because I'm just going to go with whatever comes out. And how much time we got left? All right, we're doing good on time. One of the first girls I ever hooked up with, like had sex with, I swear to you, she had a tramp stamp. And this might be the third girl I've ever hooked up with in my entire life, right? And she had a tramp stamp that read, "Rest in peace, Daddy." Rest in peace, Daddy. And then I swear to you, as we're having sex, like my third time having sex ever, she starts to call me Daddy. And now I'm like, what the fuck? There's this. My brain's going all over. Is she picturing her dead? Is she picturing I'm her dead dad, or is like, does she have like a long list of daddies that she kills? Am I next? Am I dead? Is she gonna have a rest in peace daddy 2 under there, and that's me? Am I next? Am I on deck right now? So I did what every normal 19-year-old kid would do, you know? I continued to have sex with her, and I was terrified the whole time. And I don't want to be called daddy to begin with, you know? Especially, like, and I'm not, let me be perfectly clear. It said rest, I was there. I was face to face with it. It said rest in peace daddy as a tramp stamp lower back. You tell me what you would have done. And then she starts calling me daddy. I was scared for my life. And that's the caliber of babe that was up at SUNY Delhi, dude. That was the caliber of babe. And, you know, another babe I got with was a strangler. Called her the Upstate Strangler. She, I think she tried to kill me because she put her hands around my neck. It was the first time I ever had someone put their hands around my neck in that capacity. And, you know, we didn't come up with a safe word or anything like that, so I was just kind of turning all shades of red as she sucked the life out of me, you know. That's another story. I won't get into that. I don't want to get too graphic. You know, it's gross. It's grotesque. I don't want to talk too much about that. But that's like the caliber of person that was up there. And then on top of that, I was like, I had like, what's it called? At SUNY Delhi, I was a hypochondriac, right? So I was convincing myself every day I had a different illness. And one day I convinced myself that I had Lou Gehrig's disease because I like had back pain or like shooting pain down my arms or something, and I looked it up on WebMD, and WebMD said that's a sign of Lou Gehrig's disease because WebMD is bad. But here's where it gets fucking dumb. I took this story. I went to the first ed or whatever the fuck they used to call it, the med station back in college, the on-campus nurse's office, and I guess I was a good actor, or I guess I was really convincing, because I convinced the nurse that I had Lou Gehrig's disease. That's how bad the nurses were. They just, like, took what I said verbatim and, like, took it seriously. Instead of being like, you don't have Lou Gehrig's disease, dude. You're showing no symptoms. Your back hurts. That doesn't mean anything. You have to go through tests and shit. They were like, oh, shit. This guy seems pretty legit. He seems pretty convinced he has it, so he might have it. This guy might have it. The nurse called my mom. Was like, listen, we have a Lou Gehrig's disease scare. My mom was like, what? What the fuck? ALS? My son? We don't even have history of that in our family. What? Put James on the phone. James, you got ALS? It's like, maybe, Mom. I don't know. I don't feel good. You don't got ALS. It's in your head. It's like, maybe, but I want to walk, Mom. I want to walk. I don't want to be in a wheelchair. I was really scared. I used to call my mom crying like on the regular up there because I hated it so much, especially my freshman year. Sophomore year got a little easier once I made more friends, but freshman year was just brutes magoots, man. It was brutal. Brutal, man. I hated it up there, dude. It was just, I couldn't get a New York slice of pizza some way. You know, I come from Long Island. I need to get a New York slice. No, the pizza was horrible. Food was horrible. The students, the faculty, everything was just not good. So I had to transfer, and I did. But made some great friends there. Love the people there. I love my friends from Delhi. They're good guys. They really are. And then I went to Oswego. That's not as interesting. I didn't really, do anything cool at Oswego. Just led my lacrosse team in points, goals, and assists, but that's fine. Whatever. Where are we? Who am I? I'm just a guy. Trying to make it in life, I don't even know what. I couldn't even, do a callback to something I said earlier because I have no idea what I said earlier in this podcast. I've just been ranting and raving, I got to do something about my morning routine, though. That's something I've been thinking about. I want to, develop a legit morning routine. Because right now, my morning routine, it's not even a routine, really. It's just a ritual. It's just a thing I do every single day. And it's so classic, dude. Everybody does it. It's nothing to be ashamed of. It's nothing, unique. It's nothing crazy. Everybody does this. at all times of the day, I think. I'm not sure, but it's definitely specifically in the morning for me. But it's just a classic thing that everybody does. I wake up and I go into the bathroom and I lock the door. And then I double check that it's locked. I make sure that it's locked. And then I look at myself in the mirror, eye to eye. I grab hold of the sink. I start white-knuckling the sink. I just grab as hard as I can. I try to break porcelain, And I stare myself in the eye, and I start talking shit about myself to myself for about 5 to 10 minutes. And that's how I start my day, which is it's just a classic that everybody does it. Everybody does it. It's classic. Everybody does it. It's just a part of life at this point. I'm kidding, obviously, but that's how I start most of my days. It's just because I'm a say it to your face kind of guy, which is a good quality. If you do something that rubs me the wrong way, I'm going to tell you about it. If I do something that rubs me the wrong way that I did, I'm going to tell myself about it because I'm that kind of guy. All right? I don't let things slide. I'm not going to just let it boil up inside me. I'm going to tell you how I feel, whether it's you or me. I find my reflection. I tell myself, I say, hey, lock it in, buddy. You did that? Not again. You got to learn from your mistakes, pal. That's enough. I don't like that. Stop it. It's usually a lot more vulgar and negative, and I'm not going to quote myself here, but I usually get a lot more negativo, But that's why I want to change up my morning routine, because I genuinely want to be a little bit more positive. I want to be a positive guy. So I maybe I'll be a little more spiritual in the morning. Maybe I'll do some yoga, journal or something. But again, my journaling, I've tried journaling. I just end up shitting on myself. It's just who I am. I don't know how to stop doing that. Self-esteem, to me, from my perspective, is Santa Claus. It doesn't exist. Right? Fucking self-esteem is Santa Claus. Confidence is the Easter Bunny. I don't know what these things are. Everyone thinks, James, you're so confident and cool and so sexy and hot. It's I'm none of those things, dude. Never been one of those things in my life. I don't know what it's like to show a little pride in oneself, I'd like to show some hubris once in a while, but just not in my DNA. Just not my vibe, man. It's not what I do. What I do best is I shit on myself. I'm self-deprecating. But I don't want to be self-deprecating anymore. I want to be demure. Imagine me just walking around the street being I'm demure. Demure. Today I had a good day today. I felt demure, I felt that way. And to me, demure is a word that is subjective. It means whatever you want it to mean. That's what I take away from it. I don't actually know the actual definition to it, so don't ask me that, and fuck Webster Dictionary, because words are subjective, dude. A word is it can mean whatever you want it to mean, It's just stupid bullshit that the Latins made up, So I think that the word demure means self-pride, self-confidence, cool guy, cool under pressure. Everybody likes this guy. He's a cool dude. That's what I think of when I hear demure. That's what I think that word means. So I'm gonna try to be that. I thrive to be that, dude. I don't want to shit on myself anymore. It's not fun. It's gotten old. It's gotten stale. It's gotten a little stale. So I got to get a little more positive, and I think it starts with my mornings. I'm not really a morning person. My morning routine used to be literally just sleep through the morning, fast forward through the morning, time travel through the morning, wake up at noon. I don't even have a morning routine because I don't even know what the morning is because it doesn't exist to me because it never happened to me, because I slept through the morning. I'm an afternoon guy. What's my afternoon routine? I don't know. That's another story. So I never had a chance to have a morning routine because I would just sleep through the day, But now I'm waking up earlier and I'm trying to, maybe I should work out in the morning. Working out in the morning is actually, I used to work out in the morning back when I had a life. And it's good, man, because you're half asleep. You go on autopilot. You see your muscle. It's like you're sitting in a lawn chair in the back of your head just watching your arms move. That's what it's like, dude. It's perfect. You're half asleep. You go through it, and then it's done like that, and then you have nothing. You don't have to worry about anything for the rest of the day. And you feel good. Endorphins are running. Endorphins are popping. Okay, you're feeling good. You start the day off on the right foot. You already achieved something today. Even if you do nothing else for the rest of the day, you at least have that workout in the morning. And then you don't have all day to trick yourself into not working out, and then you let the fucking weak pussy in the back of your head trick you into not working out. So you're I already did it. It's done. Maybe I'll start working out in the morning, dude. Yeah. I'll start working out in the morning. But I got to figure out my morning routine, man. I need, like, a face care and, like, maybe I'll read, drink a coffee. I don't know. But, I'll figure it out, guys. And, what a weird little day I had. But a good day. I had a good day, and then I did this, so I don't know what I said. I'm going to have to re-listen to it, figure it out from there. But if you guys made it this far, thank you. If you didn't, go fuck yourself because you'll never hear it. And be good, guys. Later.